everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for choosing to spend a few minutes watching my video today. I am working on some housework things and I just decided to film it while I was doing it. I don't know that cleaning content is going to be my thing, but the reality of it is when you're mom, you have to do all the things. And I was looking for a way to make a video to have a chance to tell you a little bit of background about me. And so I thought this would be just a nice way of giving you something to watch while I can kind of visit and share a little bit about how I got to where I am today as a stay-at-home mom of 4. And so that's my plan for this. So first of all, I am obviously putting sheets on a bed. This is one of our kids' rooms, and the sheets needed. This was the day that I was changing sheets. I find that I do this in a broken up schedule. I don't try to change everyone's sheets on the same day, or else we end up making it to bedtime and I haven't managed to get everybody's sheets back on their beds, and it makes bedtime more hectic. So I do a couple here and there, and then the next day I'll get the rest of them. And that just works best for us. If I was more organized, I might could get it all done in one day. And I have done it in one day before, but like I say, it makes life a little bit more chaotic. And so sometimes you just choose to do what makes the most sense. So I'm putting sheets on the top bunk. The lower bunk had the sheets changed on it a couple of days prior. Okay, so now onto the fun part. So I have been a stay-at-home mom since my oldest was born. This was something that I always knew I wanted to do. I grew up in a household that my mom was at home with us. She homeschooled us, my siblings and I, and that was something that I treasure that she did that for us, that my dad was willing to work, and they were willing to make it work so that she could be at home with us. And growing up that way was very, very special. And so I always knew as a small child, kids will sometimes talk about, what I want to be when I grow up. And I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And like I said, I've known that since I was a little kid. And it just always been something in the back of my mind that's what I wanted to do. So it's very special that I get to make that a reality. And the even more amazing part is the fact that my husband actually also grew up in a one-income stay-at-home mom household. He was homeschooled as well. So we grew up very, very similar lifestyles. And because of that, he also highly values having the mom at home. And so it was something for us that was a very simple decision for us, because that was what we had been modeled, and that's what we knew we wanted to model for our family. So like I say, that's just how we got to where we are in that regard. And then from there, a little bit about my interests. So in addition to the cooking and things that I mentioned previously, I also enjoy doing things outdoors. I grew up being outside a lot. My family, we were big into hunting, and we had livestock and had sheep and goats growing up for most of my childhood. And so I always enjoyed messing with the animals as a kid. I was the one who liked to go take care of the baby lambs, bottle raise the babies, and that sort of thing. I always liked the day-to-day tasks with them, and that hasn't changed. Even now we have a little bit of land, and we have just recently acquired some sheep and goats for ourselves, and I find that I still enjoy it. That hasn't changed any. And in fact, the goats that we have now are dairy goats, and so that is something that I'm excited to get to do this next spring. Right now the goats are just out in the pasture, but in the spring, when they have their babies, I look forward to being able to do the goat milk thing and be able to use that in my cooking, and be able for us just to be able to drink that. So yeah, that's the inside the house things, the cooking and the homemaking are a joy for me, as well as I'm very thankful that we have access, that I can go outside and do those things too, because sometimes it does us all some good to just go outside and to have some things like that I do genuinely enjoy that, enjoy having the animals. And so that's a welcome thing. So anyway, I am moving on here to a bathroom that needed to be cleaned. And I used to have a really good schedule where I would do all of the housework on a particular, each day had a task assigned to it. Monday was this, Tuesday was this, Wednesday was this. And so that by the end of the week, I had cleaned everything in the house. And that worked really well for a period of time. But then since my youngest was born, I have kind of just lost that habit and never really picked it back up. I think the transition from 3 to 4 has made it a little bit harder for me to be able to predict my time availability. And so now I just have to take it day by day and look around and see, okay, what is something that really needs to get done today, and do it and move on in that way. So I don't really have a pattern. Maybe one day I'll be able to get back into that. It was really nice. I always felt like I was on top of things. As it stands, sometimes it goes way too long between jobs getting done. But anyway, this particular afternoon during nap time, I was able to get a couple of things done, and it always feels good when I can be productive during that time. As any of y'all with small children will know, that when the kids are all up and playing or doing whatever they do during the day, you don't always have time to focus on something completely separate. You can kind of do things, but you have to be around, you have to be listening to what they're doing, to make sure that they are safe, that they're not getting into stuff they shouldn't, and things like that, and then just getting to spend the time with them. So my afternoon nap time for the kids is my time to get to crank out whatever cleaning tasks or household item, whatever it might be, extra cooking that needs to get done on that day. That's my opportunity. And so that's what I was doing on this day. And it felt really good when I was done to be able to know that was caught up with for a while. One other area of my life that I hope to be able to share on this channel to a certain extent is sewing. So I sew. I have been sewing since I was a small child. My mom has always sewn her own clothes, sewn different household items, quilts and things like that. She learned as a young girl from her mom, and then my mom taught me, and it was something very special as a young girl growing up. That was our girl time. I'm the only daughter in my family, and so that was the time that me and my mom got to spend together, one-on-one. She always was very, very diligent to be sure that we had that time. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. So because of that, I have lots of good feelings towards sewing, and I still enjoy it. I spent a lot of my high school years doing sewing competitions. I made clothes for myself and would compete. Some were 4-H things, so they were local competitions, and I also did some that were state and even national level. And so that was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. And while that chapter of my life has closed because I just don't have time to be running off to the contests and stuff like that anymore, and my heart is now to be at home with my kids, I do still enjoy sewing, and that hasn't gone away. And so now, instead of sewing for myself as much, I find that I am sewing for my kids, and it's been really fun. I get to make dresses and the fun girly things for the girls, and then even my boys enjoy it when I make I like to make dress shirts for them and pajamas and stuff like that. And they think it is special when mom makes something for them. And again, it gives me a chance to do something that I really, really enjoy. It's kind of my hobby. When I start feeling like I can't do the things that I want to do, I'm just stuck in the have-tos. The sewing is something that that kind of helps me get to do something that I want to do, that I really enjoy. So all in all, I'm very, very thankful, very blessed with where I am. And while I can stand here and say that I get to stay at home because my husband is willing to go to work every day and make the money, or I can say that I'm here able to stay at home because we're so careful on how we spend our money or the choices that we make. I have to ultimately back up and say, no, God gets the credit for this, because he is the one who has opened the doors for so many things in my life and in our marriage to make this lifestyle work. He allowed many things all the way back to when we purchased this home that we are in now, and allowing it to be something that fit into the budget of a one-income household. We bought it before we had kids, but we knew that was the goal, and so we bought it. We budgeted for our home according to that plan. And the details of this home working out can only be explained by God opening those doors and him allowing that for us. So I am very grateful that he has allowed my husband and I to live out this dream. And it really is a dream for us, and I'm very, very grateful. And I try to make sure that even the kids see that while mommy and daddy work really hard to make this work every day, ultimately God is the one who has provided for us and has allowed this to be our life. And so I guess that's the thought that I will leave you with for today. I am very, very blessed to be where I am. God has been very, very wonderful to me, in providing the life that I dreamed of. Yes, there are days that are hard, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I hope that this has been an encouragement to some of y'all. Even sometimes I even just like watching cleaning videos because it makes me think about something I need to go clean. So maybe it's done that for you. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.